Hey, I'm Julian, and I transform intermediate guitar players into confident soloists. So, if you've been feeling stuck for a number of years, trying to really get into lead guitar, really trying to play your heart out, and you just have not gotten the results that you've wanted, you're definitely in the right place watching this training. Okay, what I'm going to take you through is the basic principles of converting a scale into a solo or into a phrase, as I like to call it, that you would use as part of a solo. Okay, the three things we're going to talk about are rhythm, melody, and we're also going to talk about articulations, which includes bends, slides, etc. So the difference with me is that I'm not one of these guys who will tell you, hey man, I'm going to help you solo in 7 days or whatever, or 2 days or overnight or whatever. I think all of us who are serious about the guitar know that these are kind of BS tactics that a lot of these guitar players use. But what I will show you are the fundamentals, things that I've learned studying in college. Yes, I graduated from music college. I've played hundreds of gigs. And most importantly, I've really studied music thoroughly. You can see my records behind me. I've spent a lot of time really breaking down the solos by a lot of the greats, Jimi Hendrix, Jeff Beck, Stevie Ray Vaughan, so on and so forth, and I'm going to share what I've learned with you. I remember when I would just go up and down the minor pentatonic scale as my solo, and I would listen back to the recording, and honestly, I would just feel disappointed in my playing. I felt like I wasn't really expressing what my heroes were expressing. It didn't sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan or Jeff Beck. It just sounded like a scale, and that really led me on this journey to discover what is the difference, what am I missing, and again, that's what I'm going to share with you today. So how do we create our own phrases out of scales that we can use in our solos? Well, let's break that down. I'd say there's three main things we've got to look at. One would be melody, in other words, the arrangement or the order of the notes. Another would be rhythm. And third, we could look at adding articulations, bends, expressive things to the solo. Let's look at a variety of different rhythms we can use in this context, okay? Whole notes would be 4 beats. Half notes would be 2 beats. Quarter notes would be 1 beat. Eighth notes would be half of a beat. Then we'd have triplets. And 16th notes. So in our solo, it's nice to use a variety of those different rhythms to be as expressive as we possibly can. If we're stuck with just one kind of rhythm, for example, eighth notes, well then everything we play is going to be kind of it's going to be kind of stagnant, kind of boring, kind of limited, I think is the better way to put that. And varying your rhythm is a great way to get out of that. So now let's look at melody, okay? When you play a scale, when you're taught a scale, you just go up and down the notes. But what all creative guitar players do is they find new ways of ordering and combining these notes. So let's take a look at what the notes are. We've got A, C, D, E, G. Then the same thing, A, C, D, E, G, and then A, and then C. Okay, pentatonic. Okay, now instead of just playing all those notes in a row all the time, we can look at some different combinations and different orderings. So I started a phrase there starting on A, then down to G, back to A, and then I made a leap down from A to E. Okay, now if I were just playing the scale, I would always have to go A, G, E. But in this case, I'm going straight from A to G, which gives it a little bit more shape as opposed to just playing the scale up and down. Okay, then I went down to D, back and forth between D and C, and then I went E, C, A. Okay, you can see how that's different than the normal scale. I'm actually skipping. So you can skip over notes, and that's kind of one way to find some more interesting shapes in your melodies. Okay, let's listen to a lick in context. I think you can see there how we've built a more musical phrase by experimenting with the rhythm and the melody a little bit. And then lastly there, I added in some bends and different expressive qualities that takes it that final step and makes it more musical. So in summary, when you just play a scale, you're kind of lacking three things. You're lacking a creative order for the notes. You're lacking a rhythm that makes it interesting to listen to, and you're also lacking articulations, bends, slides, so on and so forth, that make the phrase very vocal, very melodic, very beautiful. So those are three things you can focus on when you're writing your own phrases. So if you enjoyed that training, you would really benefit from my lead guitar program, where I personally coach you through everything I've learned in school, playing gigs, and from studying music. We focus on three main things. The first one is understanding harmony and melody. In other words, the connection between chords and scales, okay? So you have to know what the connection is so that you can have the most freedom, the most flexibility on the neck of the guitar as possible. The second one is, how do we create our own phrases and not only create them, but internalize them, memorize them, so that we're in a jam session, if we're on a gig, these phrases will come to us naturally. And that leads into my third point, connecting our ear to the fretboard, okay? We have musical ideas and we need to express them in real time. So those are the three main points of my program. If you check out my Instagram, you'll be seeing the guitar players who have gone through my program, and they've all had very good things to say. They've really transformed, and I'm really proud of them as well. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon on Instagram. Take care.